Hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of 20 Sides of Failure plays Curse of Strahd. My name is Benny, and I'm here with my beautiful players. Starting from the top of the U, we have our Paladin.
Hello, I'm Noreen Nightingale, and I will be doing Aurora Rose, who is on the tail end of shock.
Yeah, the tail end of shock. Following on from that, we have our Furball Druid.
Hello, everybody. It is your friendly neighborhood Ness here, and I play the Furball Druid Sonder Elwood, who is trying to keep it all together, trying to keep everybody else together, and offering free hugs whenever anyone needs it.
Following after, we have our Rogue.
Hello. I am playing Serenity. Used to play as Hazel, but no one gave a shit about him, so I have now adapted.
What is the Bear Grylls meme? So, like, survive, adapt, overcome, something like that.
Exactly.
And then we have our Elven Sorcerer.
Hi guys, my name is Mythic, and I play the Shadow Sorceress Saya Sombra, and my character has made a lot of progression, and is still progressing and getting better, but I think at this point, just trying to have fun, trying to break up the tension, until things fall on her later on and she realizes, oh, someone else is alive, and they're probably like me. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. And then finally, we have our Human Artificer.
Hello, I am Dusky B. I play Jack with his left hand Mechanical Man King. Yeah. Go talk to a hag.
And Ray will be joining us later playing a Miracle, the Barbarian Cleric. Where we left off last week. The party were making their way back from having conversations with Madame Ava when they were attacked by a pack of wolves. They were able to kill everyone with the help of a new friend and compatriot who passed on some very important information. That included that some of their party members and their allies were alive, or at least aware, in Castle Ravenloft. And it then became their mission to head to Vallaki, get supplies, a little bit of information, and the last thing that you did before the end of the session was escort Anna Kreskov back to Kresk. Wedding dress in tow. It's 2 p.m. and I will say that you have just come through the gates of Kresk, the wooden doors opening up for you. Anna begins to steer the wagon to what is essentially the family stables, unlatching the horse. Your journey has been quick and quiet. You didn't encounter anything along the way. Nothing harassed you as you travelled. It was just simply a quiet journey. As she's getting off of the wagon, you see the burgomaster coming very quickly out of the door. He obviously heard the calls from the guards saying that people were coming back and coming in. And he very quickly comes forward to make sure that he embraces his wife. He makes sure that she's immediately swaddled in like this massive bear hug. He just cups the size of her face and like is almost checking it to make sure that it's still her. Dimitri turns to all of you and, with an almost teary expression, gives you all a smile, walks over to you, pulls the people that he has met before into hugs. Admittedly, Serenity, he hasn't met you before, so he does pull you into like, I guess the best way of putting it is that he puts his hands on both of your shoulders and just kind of gives it a squeeze. It's not a hug, but it's at least a sign of gratitude that you recognize. But Anna does turn to you all and go, well, there isn't really much time to waste. I can hold on to the dress for you if you like, or we can take it up to the Abbot.
Ideally, we can all head up there and get this all taken care of for you.
I think at that point, Amira would pipe up and say, if it's alright with you, I want to check on your son, like gesturing to the burgomaster. I was like, last time I checked on him, I'm aware that he wasn't doing well. I just want to check on him, and you can go without me. You don't have to wait for me to finish.
Not fair. We'll come back down when we're done. Retrieve you.
Alright then. See you when you're done. And she kind of, like, very quickly trots off to the burgomaster's house, leaving you in, like, this almost, I guess you'd call it a village square? It's more just a crossroads. Anna looks to the rest of the group and says, are you wanting me to go with you, or do you think you'll be fine going up the mountainside by yourself?
I think we'll be alright. It's kind of hard to go the wrong direction. I think it's pretty obvious if we start going downhill. That being said, I've never actually climbed a mountain before. It's just a trail going up, right?
With a bit of a chuckle, sure. It's, no, it's just a path that is carved into the side of a mountain, but it is simply just a trail. You don't need to do any excursions with it.
I think we'll be alright. If you don't want to head up the mountain, if you want to spend time with your son, it's alright.
Thank you all. A pleasure and a blessing to you. Alright then. You do actually, as you begin to climb higher and higher, begin to feel slightly lightheaded, as you're now at least 500 feet in the air, as you begin climbing this switchback trail leading up to the Abbey. The first thing that you notice is a gate. The road from the village climbs above the mist to a wide ledge on which the Abbey is perched. There's a light dusting of snow covering the trees and the rocky earth underneath your feet. The gravel road passes between two small stone outbuildings, to either side of which stretches a 5-foot high, 3-foot thick wall of jumbled stones, held together with mortar. Blocking the road are iron gates, attached to the outbuildings by rusty hinges. They appear to be unlocked. Viewed through the gates, the stone abbey stands quiet. Its two wings are joined by a 15-foot-high curtain wall. A belfry protrudes from the rooftop of the closest north wing, which also sports a chimney billowing grey smoke. Now the real question is, what do you do?
Make sure the gate's unlocked, and if it is, head on through, head towards the smoke.
The gates are unlocked, but because of the amount of rust that are on the hinges, they immediately start to squeal as soon as you put any kind of weight on them. You hear two muffled kind of snorts and scrambling of feet as from either side of the gate two people appear. It seems that they were meant to be more on guard duty, and the rusty hinges have either woken them up or grabbed their attention. And your immediate reaction from all of you is at the very least surprise. And I'll leave it to you if you feel anything else as you look at these two guardsmen. One of them is just under 5 feet tall and squats instead of standing upright. So if anything, they come up to maybe your midsection. They look like a beardless dwarf, but they have patches of animal flesh covering their face and body. You can see through his oily, ratted hair that he has one human ear and one wolf ear. And he has a wolf's protruding snout and fangs. His arms and hands are human, but his legs and feet are leonine, so they look like a big cat. And he has a donkey's tail. He's wearing patchwork threadbare clothing and a plain cloak that covers his shoulders. The woman next to him isn't in much better state. She's shorter than the first man, but stands upright. The left side of her face and body is covered with lizard scales, and the right with tufts of grey wolf fur. Between these tufts is pale human skin. One of her eyes is feline with a downward slit, and her fingers and hands resemble cat paws with opposable thumbs. She covers herself in a grey cloak with black fur trim. And they both stand to attention. They don't have any kind of weaponry, but you do see the gentleman that's crouching, holding a shovel.
Good afternoon.
The man kind of snorts is probably the best way to describe the noise that he makes. But it comes out almost like a donkey bray. So there's an in snort and then a ha. The lady looks between you and then her compatriot and looks to you all. What is your business here?
We've come to see the abbot. We wanted to turn in one of the items he was requesting.
Do you show what you've brought, or do you just say we've brought something?
I'd say yeah. I would show it.
Both of their eyes immediately go wide as they see the beautiful wedding dress that you have managed to get from the Baroness. And very quickly, they open the gates wide. The one that's squatting manages to get down into like an even further bow, with his head like almost, his nose is touching the floor. While the lady, covered in scales, very graciously begins to wave you in with the hand covered in scales. It's going, please, come in, come in. The Abbot told us to expect you, but I don't think even he expected you this soon. Assuming you all enter.
When we do, Sonder kind of just like gives them both a very pleasant wave and a like, have a wonderful day. He's definitely in a bit of a better mood. Since helping Amira, giving her that pep talk, and now they're actually in the mountains, Saunders definitely feeling inspired is the best way to put it. He's like, we got this. We got this. We can do this. We're good.
Well, the
As
oh, go on.
Jack is still trying to comprehend who he's looking at. Less of like, it's more his brain's just ticking. He's like, what happened to these people?
Well, they actually join you as you begin to walk. Once you're all inside the gatehouse, they shut the gates behind you, and then begin to lead the way down this. The best way of putting it is like a dirt path. Like it's something that's been carved more with time and people walking backwards and forwards than it actually being a concrete path for you to follow. To your right, as you walk in, you are now essentially inside the boundary wall of the Abbey. To your immediate right, as you walk in, you see a graveyard. You're assuming that this is where either people in the Abbey have been buried, or potentially even people in the town of Kresk were once buried before the graveyard overflowed or passage of time, you're not sure. The people lead you further into like the inner sanctum is probably the best way of putting it. And they lead you to another set of doors and another gate. This is the curtain wall that I described earlier. It's a 15-foot high that joins the Abbey's two different wings. So there's essentially 2 buildings with a courtyard in the middle, and they are being connected by this wall. Behind the battlements, 2 guards stand at attention, their features obscured by the fog. Below them, set into the wall, is a pair of 10-foot-tall wooden doors, reinforced with bands of steel. To the right of these doors, mounted on the wall, is a tarnished copper plaque. Your escorts don't necessarily care for any of the finer details as they just push past all of you and push open the door leading into the Abbey's courtyard. But feel free to explore if that's what you wish to do. Just be aware that your guards and your guides are moving without you.
Like we're supposed to follow, or we could just branch off?
You get the impression... Yeah, you're getting the impression that they want you to follow, but you can slip off if you want. They're not necessarily paying you too much attention.
I'll just keep following.
Want to read that brief reading off that plaque if he's able to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, still following, still walking.
Yeah. The plaque bears the name of the Abbey. So it says the Abbey of St. Markovia. And then underneath appears the words, "May her light cure all illness." There we go. Alright, so once the doors have been pushed open, you are led into a courtyard. Your 2 hosts, I guess the best way to describe them, turn to look at you, and with hand gestures, the man that was squatting just kind of like gestures so that his hands are like to the floor in almost like a stay motion. Whereas the one that can actually articulate themselves and speak says, "We are going to go collect the Abbot for you. Please stay here."
I'll nod.
Easy enough.
Same. So I'm just kind of just going to be like looking around, just at everything, taking everything in. So the best way to describe this courtyard is there is essentially a long rectangle. To your right is one of the buildings. That is where your escorts have gone. And then to the left is a completely separate building. In the middle of this rectangle is a well. And it seems to be something that was built a long time ago. It's something that has definitely been here since the building of the Abbey. Along the far wall, so the wall opposite you, are some old troughs, probably where people kept horses when travelling to the Abbey. Along the walls to your, I would say, like, northwest and northeast, so in the 2 corners of the rectangle, there are chicken sheds and chicken coops. And then finally, off to your left, nearer to the door of the northern building, there is a creature attached to essentially
what is the best way of describing it? In the Old West, they used to have posts that they would attach horses to as like a tethering post.
Oh, yeah.
Hitching post?
Hitching post, yeah. We'll go with that. So there is something attached to the hitching post. But you have seemingly been left to your own devices. To do with as you wish.
I like to check out the well.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything
I'll go
anyone
with
else?
you.
Yeah, I was going to say you can either all go, some stay by the door. It is completely up to you what you would like to do.
I'm going with.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Aurora actually wants to, I think, go look at the hitching post.
Jack would be joining Aurora then.
Okay, so I'll describe one thing and then I'll describe the other. Because the well is closer, just because of distance, the group that wants to check out the well will get there before the group that wants to check out the hitching post. So I'm going to describe that first. Walking up to this well, I'll say Serenity, you're leading the charge.
Yeah.
Can you please make a perception check for me?
I can. Yeah, that's not that great. 13.
Okay. So, this well goes deep. And you can tell that because it seems to go all the way to the basis of the mountain to get fresh spring water. So you can't actually see the bottom of this well.
Okay.
And because of the angle and where it's been positioned, after about 10 feet or so, you can't actually see anything.
Is there like the thing with a rope and a bucket, the trough?
Yeah, like standard mechanism of like roof, crossbeam, rope with a bucket.
I would like to throw that down and bring up some water.
Okay. You throw the bucket down. And you begin to use the crank mechanism to unwind the rope. And it's probably at that point that you clock that the rope that's round around the spindle is thick. Like there are many layers of rope wrapped around this one crossbar. You might be here for a while.
What's a while?
Well, we'll see, shall we?
I'm still gonna keep going because we're waiting. I'm gonna try to put a little effort into it.
Mm-hmm. Well, think of it this way. You had to go up 400 feet to just get to this plateau.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Wait,
I'm
where
gonna put
did
some effort.
Serenity go? I'm confused.
Serenity's messing with the well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you followed.
I did. I was wondering if you did something up went somewhere else. I got confused for a minute.
You're like, what are you doing? I'm like, all the good things.
Is it possible for Saya to like find a rock and throw it in to see like how far it goes, or
Sure.
like we kind of know how far it is, but that just I'm curious.
Sure. So you throw a rock, and as per D&D rules, the rock hits terminal velocity and immediately plummets 500 feet in 6 seconds, because that's stupid. So you hear a clatter after about 20 seconds.
So I'm assuming that took a little bit of time, but
So-
not too much.
Well, 20 seconds.
A clatter. Okay. Was there water there?
Yeah, like you heard a very distant splash.
Okay. Saya's just gonna look at Serenity and be like, what are your thoughts on the well?
I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Why does it go so deep?
It sounds like there's water at the bottom
You
of
said
it.
it fell for 20 seconds, DM?
Mm-hmm.
I did online map. That means it's 6,430 feet deep.
We know in 6 seconds it falls 500 feet, so in 12 seconds it'd fall 1,000 feet.
Okay, so 6,000 feet's accurate.
No, because then in 18 seconds it would have fallen 1,500 feet.
Wow, I just looked it up. How long does it take for something to load? Okay, fair enough. I was like, fucking hell, that goes to hell and back.
D&D is different with falling mechanics than real
Yes,
life.
I said D&D, and it apparently gave me real life, and I'm like, that's not what I requested.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's not what I requested, but that's fine. I
So
think
yeah,
that's how
you-
everyone's acting. Part of me thinks it's something in the water, but what do I know?
I'll say while you're having that discussion, the group that moved over to the hitching post, as you get a little bit closer, you can see that, yeah, it was something that was once used to secure horses. There are iron rings that are bolted into like the side of these thick wooden posts, but chained to them now is another one of these hybrid creatures. It flaps its leathery wings and takes to the air, but doesn't get far before its chains go taut and she has to flutter back down. She's screaming nonsense at the top of her lungs.
Did we want to check that?
Did we hear that?
Oh yeah, it's not that far away from you.
Can I still see Jack?
Yeah?
We'll look at him and be like, is there is he moving towards it? Like, what's the thought from him?
There's a look of both curiosity and concern on what's going on the top of this gosh darn mountain.
So, this person is again under 5 feet tall, hunched posture. Long stringy black hair hides much of her face, but clearly visible are the spider mandibles and teeth that replace her human mouth. She has the arms and wings of a bat, as well as the cloven hoof in place of her right foot.
Oh no. No. I pass. Thank you. No way.
What do you mean? This is exactly why we're here. What do you mean you pass?
It's out of character and it's scary. I don't like it.
She doesn't say anything to you, but she is screaming, like, essentially There's no other way of putting it other than, like, gobbledygook. It is complete and utter made-up language nonsense. And she doesn't stop. And she keeps trying to move away from you, fly away from you, doesn't want anything to do with you.
Party or somebody in particular?
Oh, the party. As a whole.
Jack would just put up his hands and just start walking away.
I have a question. I don't know, like,
Mm-hmm.
does this already have any, like, knowledge of hags?
I'd say that you have some.
Did I just roll and be like, is this a fucking hag in front of us? Like, what the fuck's going on?
Sure, make an Arcana check.
Ready. Wrong screen. Arcana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 13. What's it with 13s?
13. You have never seen anything like this before in your life. This is strange. This is corrupt. This is... You're looking for, like, stitch marks, and there isn't any. These things haven't been made, they've been grown. And that alone is unnerving.
Is there anybody else around that besides the screaming weird person?
Not that you can see. Not at the moment.
Oh, bad idea.
They've apparently gone to go get the Abbot, but you don't know where he is and how far away he is from you.
This person's screaming at us. I want to cautiously walk up to them and, like, touch them. Like, I was just gonna touch them on the shoulder and see if there's any adverse effects. Fuck it.
Oh, yeah, they immediately recoil, try to fly away, and they do a very similar action to when dogs accidentally choke themselves out on a leash.
Yo.
Where it's like, run, 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 run.
I'm gonna look at everyone else like, huh?
I think it's best if we leave them alone. I don't think they want to be around others.
It's, I'm not going to even make anyone roll an inside check for this. It is very clear that they are terrified of you.
Is it something we have or just of us and of all of us?
Oh, now that you're going to need to do an inside check for.
Okay. So I'm doing so good at everything else.
Just add a
You got this,
character.
Asher.
Oh my!
Right.
You had to say that. You had to say it. 12. One less than 13.
You can't tell. The terror is so all-encompassing that it could be you, it could be the group, it could be a particular person, it could be all of you, it could be the clothes that you're wearing, it could be the fact that you're looking at them, not looking at them, you don't know.
Okay. That's all I got, folks.
Jack, maybe we should ask if we can see the bride. Given our greeting.
I would be inclined to also see them. I have a lot more questions, though, for the Abbot as of right now.
Agreed.
I'd say that that's probably good timing for the doors in the southern building to open and for the abbot to come walking out. He's in the same robes as when you saw him the first time. Brown, simple clothing, but woven in this golden fabric with a sun motif going across his back and shoulders. He begins to walk towards you, and he doesn't even try to hide the smile on his face when he sees you holding the wedding dress, Jack. So. I can't get rid of him anymore. Yeah.
Hello again. We're able to get that dress for you.
To answer the question that has just been put in the Discord server, because that is pertinent information, yes, the abbot brought back to life the last child of Kresk's burgomaster. They had died recently, and essentially the abbot brought them back to life with the payment of get me a wedding dress, which is what you've just now fulfilled. But the abbot walks forward, and you see him look down into the well, takes from his belt something that... It's something between like a cudgel and a conductor's baton. It's just this stick of wood that he has attached, and he like smacks it on the inside of the well. He just goes, remove yourself from the well, Mishka. And you all watch this other spliced being crawl out of the well. Very wiry, very spindly. He has a frog's foot in place of his left hand, and taloned crow's foot where his right foot should be. He turns to look at you all, and he has 3 red spider eyes on the right side of his face, when the left side appears human. He kind of chuckles to himself. And it's unsettling, it's bone-chilling. You hearing it makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. You get the impression that if something else had happened, potentially he would have tried to do something. But instead, he leaves you all, watching you as he goes, and ends up walking through the doors and into the northernmost building.
Yeah, Saya's just gonna cling to Aurora. She doesn't like the look of that at all.
Well, there goes the happy mood.
Aurora just lets Saya cling to her, just like plants her feet a little bit just to steady her stance and everything.
I do apologize for what I must assume is not that welcome of an introduction. But at least now you have seen firsthand the charge that I have given myself.
If it's not overstepping, and if it is, feel free to ignore the question. Happened to these people?
You can see him, like, physically sigh, and you can see his posture deflate at that question. I guess the right word would be ancestors, since it was a couple of generations back, asked for this. They asked for enhancements that, while strengthened their body and gave them new, additional skills, also corrupted their minds and made them mad. I have made it my mission to watch over the Bellevue family.
Alright. Who did they ask for this? Who did they ask?
One of my predecessors. They saw it fit to try and respect the wishes of the family and use their power to do what they could. And this is the result. And he gestures to the lady that you now assume is part of the Bellevue family.
Is there any way to reverse this? Is there... that you know of?
I have been trying to work on a potential cure in my spare time. The unfortunate thing is that it's no curse that can simply be removed. It is now genetic and inside their makeup as a family. It's a lot harder to untangle. It's one of the reasons that I keep them up here. And he gestures to the Abbey. If I can keep them away from the long-suffering villagers down below, there's one less burden they have to bear.
it's not too much to ask. Do you know what kind of magic was used to do this?
I unfortunately don't know the specifics. As far as I'm aware, it is powerful divinity. So this was bestowed upon them by a god, or at least a servant of one.
Sonder looks just vaguely uncomfortable. He's no stranger, obviously, to being enhanced by by animal form, but he's never seen anything like this. And it's kind of making his skin crawl a little bit.
I don't understand. I mean, isn't aren't you supposed to worship the god and not get punished by it? I mean, I'm not religious or anything, but that doesn't sound like that should happen.
My dear, to the Bellevue family this is not a punishment. They wanted this. This is what they asked for.
But why?
Oh. I don't have an answer for you, but feel free to ask them. And he gestures to, again, the girl tied up to the post. People do strange things for things that they perceive as powerful. You'll have to pardon the expression, but isn't it a part of human nature to wish to strive for betterment even if it damages you?
Saya just kind of turns and looks at the other members, wondering if the question was yes or no.
At least when you turn to Sonder, he kind of has a face of, like, solemn understanding.
There has to be a limit, though. I mean, if they're stronger, that's great, but they've completely lost themselves, it looks like.
And that is why I have vowed to, at the very least, try to save them. It is a work in progress, but it is all I can do to try and help them.
At least somebody is looking out for them. I'd be hesitant to think if they were in more populated areas of the town that people might not be so welcoming when they see them.
Say's gonna do something really stupid, and she's gonna go up to the person at the post.
Yeah. Has the exact same reaction. They calmed down when you were no longer looking at them or near them or you were talking to the abbot, but now that you've gone back up to them, screeching, crying, screaming, trying to fly away, you can see the like where she's been chained around her neck, because she's essentially wearing like a manacle style collar. Like, it is chafing into her skin because she cares more about being away from you than being in pain.
Saya, I think we should leave her alone. I don't think she likes talking to people.
Yeah, she'll like stumble away and then turn to look at Sonder and everyone and just be like, this isn't right. They shouldn't have changed for themselves or for anyone. No, you should stay this way you are. If I had the choice to have stayed the way I was, I would have. I didn't even have a choice, but they did.
Sandra kind of just gives her a very sad smile and kind of like puts a hand like on her shoulder and gives it a bit of a squeeze. Some people like you don't exactly have the luxury. And we don't know anything about what these people have been through. Why they asked for more power. If you think about it, people don't do that because they're bored or because they have an interest in something. When people ask for more power, it's usually for their own gain or to protect themselves and the people who are close to them. I take on the traits of different animals to protect those who are close to me. I take the strength from a bear, take the claws and the teeth from a wolf. It's similar in practice, but something just went wrong on their end. We can't judge them when we don't have all of the answers.
And she just kind of looks down because what Saunders said makes sense, but at the same time, she still doesn't understand, and this is just too much for her to take in at the moment.
Sandra will kind of just like give her another like reassuring pat and kind of like gently tug her a little bit more towards the center of the group again, just to be like, come on, it's okay.
Pull the child away.
Is there anything we can do? Be able to help with this or help you with this?
Not unless any of you have any schooling in the divinity.
Looks to Aurora, just shrug.
My schooling was mostly in beauty, and I don't think what I know would be much help here.
The abbot gives a sad but like a knowing smile as he just kind of bows his head to you, Aurora. Well, at the very least, I appreciate the offer. And I know that they would, if they could, respond.
Is the predecessor still alive, still around?
Unfortunately not. He was of the elder generation. We now have his children and his grandchildren.
Alrighty. Well, if something ever comes up, we can help. Just just let us know. We'll definitely try.
Of course. You have made yourself proven helpful, and I'm aware that the task that I set was doable within a time limit, but your fast completion is incredible.
Thank you, but I guess we should move to a bit happier topics. So who's getting married?
Another one of my wards. She's not one of the Bellevues, and he immediately puts a hand out to be like, "Don't worry, I'm not marrying off some poor sod to a mongrel." And she's very much something that I care greatly for, and it was only right that she be treated in a way that befits her. And what's more befitting for a bride than the best wedding dress that we can have?
Well, I hope this one will suffice. I hope she finds it fitting.
I'm more than sure that she will. I very much appreciate the efforts, and if there is anything else, either that you need or that I need in trade of services, I will make sure to let you know. Is there anything I can do for you? He says as he begins to, without really asking for it, Jack, just start to naturally take the dress off of you. And begins folding it over an arm.
Yeah, he's not going to stop him from taking it. Nothing off the top of my head right now.
Sandra will kind of step forward a bit, looking a little bit nervous. I would like to ask you a question, if that's all right.
Of course. Please feel free to ask whatever you'd like.
Do you know anything about the name Kavan, chieftain of the mountain?
And you can see him thinking about that. He's genuinely giving it as much thought as he can. Eventually he looks to you with a sad expression and goes, "Unfortunately, that is knowledge from before my time. It's not a name that I've heard of before, but if you're specifically talking about the mountain clans, there used to be in Markovia multiple tribes, nomadic, that lived around this area. It would have been even before the fogs descended. So if you're talking about someone that was a part of those first tribes, my natural instinct to think is that it's almost ancient history. You may need to go to the more learned places than this to find the information you need there."
Saunder's attention definitely kind of peaks. And where would you suggest going for said information?
Well, depending on your bravery, the obvious answer would be Ravenloft. But that is fully dependent on your nerve.
The the man who resides there is not exactly on friendly terms with us right now. Sonder kind of gives him like, it's definitely the first kind of like sarcastic lilt to Saunder's tone that you've ever really heard before. It's definitely like he's coming off salty.
Oh. And the abbot, like, kind of raises an eyebrow to that. Well, if that is the case, and that line of inquiry isn't something that you can make, the only other place that I could potentially recommend that you ask is with the elves.
Oh. And, this might be a stupid question. But do they have, an encampment or somewhere, that they allow outsiders to come talk to them? Or is it more of a, they find you type of thing?
From what I remember, the elves have joined forces with a local band of travellers. I believe that their outpost is outside the city of Vallaki.
Have we encountered this before? I'm blanking really hard. Because, like, my first thought is the Vistani, but I don't think it's the Vistani because that doesn't make any sense.
You can all make history checks if you want.
Let's fucking go, kids. God damn it, that was almost a nat 20.
'Tis always the way. Okay, so we have a 20 from Aurora, a 13 from Saya, a 3 from Sonder. Anyone else wishing to roll? Or is it just those three?
I'm good.
Okay. Aurora. When you went to visit the Vistani camp, you remember that around the base of the hill that they've set their encampment into, people had created hovels and cottages that were essentially built into the side of the hill. You never went to speak to the people that lived there.
Okay. It might be with the Vistani. We never went to speak with any of the people in the homes nearby.
Oh, I guess you're right. We were a little bit more worried for Amira than anything, so that makes sense.
Bearing in mind that the Vistani camp that you went to for Amira is different to the one outside of Vallaki.
Don't mind me being geologically challenged. Was this the Vistani camp that the original group went to?
Yes.
Gotcha, okay, that's why we don't know about it. Okay.
Oh, I forgot that technically the new group never went to that camp. Oh no,
Yeah,
wait,
Where Val's
no,
had a fun night.
no, you
okay,
did.
you know what?
No, you did go to that camp because you bought material to sew clothing.
Yeah, I bought specifically fabric to make Austra a dress.
Yes, that was
And
back
that
when you were
never
still
happened.
founders. Yes, no, that is completely fair.
Yeah.
I'm getting parties mixed up. Carry on.
Don't worry, a lot of us have died.
We all just had a fun night that night.
He most certainly did not, thank you very much.
It was to die for.
I'm going to punch you.
Hey,
Walk
he
into that
woke
one.
to he woke to the face of an angel, though.
Okay, you know what? You're not wrong there.
But yeah, so actually in that case, only... say, well, technically, yeah. So say Aurora and technically Serenity would know that. So it should have been those three rolling history checks, but it's fine. You've still got the information.
Yay. Oh boy, I don't think we're gonna be able to go there without getting absolutely fucked. But you know, it's worth a try. Sandra will kind of just like nod to both Aurora and the Abbot and kind of just, well, thank you for the information. We will definitely see if that's a viable option.
While I think of it, another place that might hold history and maybe answers. Have you been to Argynvostholt?
I could not even pronounce that, so no.
Argynvostholt.
I don't believe so.
It's a castle or an old keep. It's in between here and Vallaki, but it's one of the relics of the time before Strahd. There may be something there. I'll give you the answers that you seek.
Is there a reason why nobody goes there anymore? If it's such a monument to history.
Oh, the keep was abandoned after the battles before Strahd. The paladin order that lived there were essentially eradicated. I assume it's just been left as a monument to Strahd's successors.
Sonder definitely kind of like pinches his chin between his finger and his thumb and nods.
Do you think we would be able to find that?
Yes, if you were to follow the main road back to in the direction of Vallaki, but then instead of continuing on to the first set of crossroads, you actually take a right. There should be a pathway that leads you at least a little out of the valley and up to more of a cliff-top reach. That's Argynvostholt.
I would be very interested to see it.
Any information that we can get is very, very needed.
I'm glad that I could have at least been a little bit of an assistance. Even if only to give you direction.
Anything is better than nothing, so thank you.
I'm going to really quickly make a roll.
when you're done with that, can you put the name of the castle in the Discord so I can spell it correctly?
No, that is completely fair. Give me a second.
Take your time.
Okay. I accidentally rolled that as you. I think it's because I'm clicking on your portrait, but that's fine. It was private anyway.
That's the type of place you go and buy a T-shirt, so you always remember how to spell and say that name correctly.
Okay. Alright. So, I'll say it again for the purposes of, like, pronunciation and without an accent. Argynvostholt. Spelt like that. When it loads.
Awesome. Thank you for the phonetic instructions. I appreciate it. Jesus Christ. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we're good.
If you don't mind, sir, I guess we should be on our way. Got a few other places we need to stop today. Unless there's anything else anyone else has.
Sort of. I wanted to ask if it would be alright if I met the bride. Some beauty and weddings, they're something that I know how to do and could offer advice on, maybe?
The abbot looks to you, Aurora, and seems taken aback by your offer, like he wasn't expecting you to say something like that. But he very quickly puts a smile on his face and goes, "Of course, I must warn you beforehand that she is a mute. So there'll be, unfortunately, very limited ability to have a conversation. But you are still more than welcome to meet her."
As long as I can speak with her, that's plenty.
Of course. Well, in that case then, feel free to follow me.
Yes, thank you.
And feel free to follow if you wish. And he, gestures to the rest of you.
Jack will
Yeah,
follow.
follow.
Yeah, Sandra will.
I guess it's a party.
Yes.
We all go together. Unless
I
we
have
don't.
some dried flowers, but that's kind of about it.
Okay. Serenity,
Aye, Captain.
would you like this to be a whisper?
Yes.
Alright then. See you in the room. As you're walking up to this southernmost building, which seems to be the more traditional chapel area of the Abbey, you can see above you that there are multiple sets of windows, because this building starts as a church and then goes up to another level and then goes up to the bell tower. So there are multiple windows on multiple levels as they go up this building. And as you look up, you can see the face of a woman in one of the upper floor windows.
Do I know who they are?
You have no idea who they are.
What do they look like?
A more olive skin tone is probably the best way of describing it. So, not just standard Caucasian white. Brown hair, a mass of curls that is being held back by a strip of red material, as used almost like a bandana. They have a red leather coat, from what you can see, and just more like a white blouse. But they're... go on.
Go.
But they're looking down at the party, watching you come into the Abbey.
So it's not like they're looking at one of us. It's they're looking at the whole party. Is there an expression?
Not clearly from the distance that you're at.
Can I ascertain? Oh, go.
No, you ask the question because I'm looking for the answer.
Am I able, kind of seeing where the window is at, am I able to ascertain a possible, like, route through the interior to get to that point?
The best that I can offer, because that connects to... Where does that connect to?
Big question.
Okay, so you get the impression that there are probably stairs on the inside.
Mm-hmm. Am I able to, like, clock a good... If I wanted to try to make my way to them in a quick manner, do I see that as a possibility?
This map is really bloody confusing, so I'm just... Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Because I want to make sure that I'm giving you the right room, and I'm giving you the right bit.
Absolutely.
Because they're like, this bit connects to this bit, but it's across 5 different pages. And I'm like, okay.
You're like, wait, hold on.
Just this moment of, I don't want to give you the wrong information. So just...
How did I get over here?
It's like, how did you connect this room to this room? How did you do this? Did you... Okay. They lead up to there. So they lead to there. I mean, to be fair, they're connected. She is... I'm about to contradict myself because I've figured out where is where and who is who. I think. Okay, yes. So, she is... Fuck me. This is a really... Like, I feel really,
so bad for you.
I'm really sorry, everyone that is listening to this as, like, either a VOD or on the stream. Because, genuinely, the way that they have laid out this map in this book is disgusting. And I'm genuinely just reading at it and being like, wow, that's great. So, you're assuming that there is a set of stairs inside the main building that then will lead you up to this upper floor.
Okay.
But she is also perceptive enough to see that you have seen her.
Does she try to, duck out of sight because of it?
No, actually. She locks eyes with you, and there is this moment of, like, true understanding. of like, you've seen me, I've seen you, we've clocked it.
Mm-hmm.
She actually waves to you
Okay.
as like the best way of doing it is like she puts her hand up and then wiggles her fingers
Yeah.
and then disappears. Like 1 second she's there and the next second she's gone.
Okay. I'll tell you this, but I'll say it in the intro. I'm gonna say I'll catch up, and I'm gonna go. We'll go see if I can figure out where she is and where, like, just that. Yeah, try to find a way to get to her.
Mm-hmm.
Should I head back?
Head back.
I will catch up with all of you. I'll be right back.
Be safe.
Absolutely, you too. I'm sorry. I saw something.
Sonder kind of just gives her a little bit of a concerned smile, but like a thumbs up. Just, call if you need anything, okay?
I can scream. That's fine.
I love her.
And she'll kind of give like a thumbs up and then go head off.
Okay. You do notice the abbot like watching you, and
Is
like
this an issue?
is definitely like watching you go. But he does say like loud enough for everyone to hear. Well, if you're wanting a tour of the Abbey, you're more than welcome to ask. I'm happy to escort you around the rooms.
This is something else. Don't worry. I won't get lost.
I'll try to if you're planning on looking around the rooms, do be careful. Not everyone here is sane.
I've learned that quite quickly. Thanks. Just waves and I'll head off.
Okay. So, jumping back to the group that are heading into the southernmost building. You open the doors and you are immediately met with this essentially like main hall type room. There's gentle sounding music trickling down from somewhere above, played on a single stringed instrument by some unseen master. The ground floor is one large 50-foot square room with arched leaded glass windows. A cauldron sits on an iron rack above a fire in the hearth, while above the fireplace mantle hangs a golden disc engraved with the symbol of the sun. In one corner, a wooden staircase climbs to the upper level, while in another corner, a stone staircase descends into darkness. Several chairs surround a wooden table that stretches nearly the length of the room. Wooden dishware and gold candelabras are neatly arranged on the table, standing behind which is a young woman with alabaster skin, dressed in a torn and soiled red gown. Her auburn hair is neatly bundled so as not to touch her soft shoulders. She seems lost in her own thoughts. You see the abbot with the dress walk over to this young girl. And you hear him softly say the name Vasilka. Vasilka, we have you a new dress. And it's perfect in time for the big day. The woman turns to look at the abbot, and you can see this smile on her face as she looks down at the material of the dress, and you can see her like running her fingertips like through some of the more sheer elements of it. She looks up at the abbot with this almost like childlike glee.
Aurora would step forward, just, congratulations. I wanted to see if you wanted any sort of advice on how to do your hair, how to do makeup. Even advice on how to get into the dress.
She gives you this very lopsided smile in the sense of it gives you very much like golden retriever energy. She like tilts her head and gives you this big dopey smile.
Just gonna like look at the abbot real quick. Just, is that a yes?
I very much believe it to be a thank you. As I clear my throat with the bubble. He looks down to her and just goes, "These are the people that have gotten the dress for you. They're the ones that I asked to do the favor for us." He looks to the group as a whole. He goes, "I truly believe that Vasilka's marriage will be a beacon of light to this place. Something that'll ease our troubles."
My sincerest best wishes for her. Can I show her a simple way to do her hair real quick?
It might be easier for her to see it on you, so that she can see the braiding. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert on hair. He just kind of gestures to his own. That it's literally just sleek, straight, one style. Like he's done nothing to it.
Sandra will kind of like perk up a little bit. If you need a model at all, I'm willing to volunteer.
Yes, please. That would be wonderful, Sandra. Thank you.
He just gives her a shy smile. And as he like walks over to her, he kind of leans down and like whispers, "I like it when you do my hair, so I'm kind of using this as an excuse. Don't tell anybody."
Your secret's safe with me.
Just gives her a smile and a thumbs up. And he'll kind of like gesture a like, "Where do you want me?" Type of deal.
If there's like any stools or chairs or something, she'll probably just have him in one of those.
Yeah, there's multiple chairs around the table, so I think even the abbot will help you a bit, whereas he kind of leads Vasilka to a chair in front of you two, and then he offers for you to feel free to take any of the chairs from around the big table.
Okay.
Sandra will kind of sit so like he's facing the back of the chair, and his legs are straddling the back while the front is like completely open. And he'll give Aurora a very crudely hand-whittled comb. And just kind of like, well, do your best.
My pleasure. She'll start trying to do a very, like, simple but fancy-looking braid.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to, like, take the time to do it slow, make sure she's, like, picking up on how to do it.
Yeah, you can definitely see that Vasilka is wrapped in your attention. Like, you have every spark that she has the potential of giving. And she's just watching you braid away.
Yay.
Is there anything that Jack and Saya are doing in this moment? Or are you also just observing the demonstration?
Primarily just observing the demonstration.
Same. I kind of want Saya to, like, explore, but I'm not going to do that, so she'll just stay there.
Okay. In that case, then, we are going to move back to Serenity. You actually almost end up going back on yourself and walking into the other building, the northern building. And you are immediately met with a room that you're assuming used to be an office. Like, there is evidence of the remains of a desk and a chair. Like, both have been smashed to pieces. A hallway to your south leads to a staircase going up, and then there is a dark passage to your right that is full of unnatural whispers, mad laughter, and bestial odours.
Do you have an idea which way I need to go?
Well, the only way that you know is up.
I'll go which way. I'll go up then.
Okay. Heading up the stairs, you are met... Where is the room? There is the room. Leads to an upstairs office. So you've gone from downstairs to upstairs. There's a wooden counter shaped like an L. Stands at the front of this spacious office. All the other furniture has rotted away, leaving heaps of mouldy wood and faded cloth. Below you, you can hear whoops, laughter, and screams.
Recognize any windows where they were at?
From your positioning, even looking at the windows in this room, you're going to need to go to essentially the other side of the right-hand wall. You don't see an immediate door, so you get the impression that you're going to have to go forward and then almost like do a U-shape back on yourself.
To get to where I need to go?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. Heading into the next room. The spacious chamber contains bed frames of wrought iron arranged in 2 neat rows. Cobwebs and bits of rotten mattress cling to each bed frame. 3 doors are spaced along the south wall, each with a plaque mounted on it. From west to east, the plaques read Operating Room, Nursery, and Morgue.
Any one look more in each area than the other?
For you, the one that you need to use is 22, which is the operating room.
I will head there.
Okay. A blood-stained table stands in the middle of an otherwise empty room. But you very quickly have to hold your hands over your ears as a scream fills the room. A scream that echoes through time. It's followed by another, fainter scream of those who died under the knife. The screams fade until there is nothing more than haunting memories. There's only one other
Anybody in the
door.
room?
There's no one in this room.
All right, let's head to that door. I mean, don't get me wrong, clocking everything, the screams.
Of course.
Attempting to internalize everything.
You move through the final door, and you're greeted with a room that's filled with bunk beds that are disintegrated with age, that lie in heaps along the walls of the mouldy, the 30-foot square room, if I can get around the words.
Woods of the woods.
She is standing by the window. She hasn't moved, she hasn't left. And now you get a better view of her. She's tall for a woman, standing 5'10". The red coat that you saw before is actually closer to like a duster style coat, made of very well worn red leather. Her boot is the same red leather, but her right leg is a fully automated, like, amputee, what's the word? Aid. I've lost the word. Prosthetic, there you go. So her left leg is whole, her right leg up to the knee is a metal prosthetic.
Like a crude prosthetic, or
Oh,
like
no.
a Warforged prosthetic?
Like, beautifully carved, like, mechanical cogs.
Okay, so artificial type of shit. Got it. Steampunk.
Billowing blue trousers, white vest shirt, red bandana, and now looking at it, there are multiple, like, bits of beading throughout her hair and also attached to the cloth on her head. She seems to have multiple weapons strapped to her. And as she looks at you, just gives you a smile. Look at the Abbot making friends.
Her hand will come up and give her the wave the same way she gave her whenever Serenity was down below. She goes, I don't know about friends, but we're making something.
I do not believe I have seen you around. But then in all honesty, I have not been here long.
What brought you here?
The fog. Strahd. Take your pick.
Oh, okay. I meant more. She like points like this area, this building, not in the area, but like the building.
And she does chuckle at that and goes, "Oh, this the Abbey in particular. The Abbot found me and gave me essentially free reign of the place. He allowed me to stay. I do feel I have to warn you and your group before you get any further in. The Abbot is insane. And I do not mean in the sense that Barovia is insane. I mean that he is literally mad. You should not stay here.
You saying that? Seemed rather nice.
Oh, he seems lovely. But the girl down there? Flesh golem. She is not a thing, he made her. He is under some kind of delusion that if he builds Strahd a bride, he will stop being depressed.
Is that what happened to everybody here? Just brides gone wrong?
The abbot has gotten it into his head that Strahd will lift the fog and stop being such a tyrannical ruler if he is reunited with his lost love. Now that may be true, but he has gotten into his head that if he cannot find that love, he will make it for Strahd. That's the only reason that I'm still here. The abbot is more than sure that Strahd is going to check on the progress of his bride, and when he comes, I will be here waiting.
To do what?
Oh, I'm going to give him a bouquet of roses and tell him that I'm happy for him. And she gives you this look of like bug-eyed, raised eyebrows, like, what do you think I'm gonna do?
By yourself?
It's more than some people are doing.
Yes, but imagine if you had more people helping you. What say you then?
And kind of chuckles at that. You offering?
Oh, me? No, but the person I work for.
Okay. So, who is the person you work for?
You might know him. He thinks he's pretty great. Honestly, he's kind of an asshole. If you don't know who it is immediately, then you've probably never met him. But that describes him pretty to the T.
Unfortunately, I can think of a few people that fit that description.
Well, he's the grade 8 asshole. His name is Azazel.
No, unfortunately, that's not a name I recognize.
That may be fortunate, actually. So, well, are you bound here? Are you prisoner? Or are you just waiting for when Strahd returns?
Oh no, I'm fully trying to lie here and wait and stab him.
That sounds like a very solid plan. Few little small holes, missing pieces. No pun intended. But would you be able to be convinced to hold off on that and go with a larger force for a higher rate of succession?
Sure. Are you volunteering the people downstairs?
I'm volunteering some people. Yes, I was kind of sent to help them. Whether I actually join is another question that hasn't been answered. But I would say, I'm sure they down. I don't know. That was Cecil didn't tell me. That they have a place for you to be with allies and wait to be called upon. If you are interested, I do have a few other questions actually.
Who cares about waiting to be called upon? I might as well join you.
It sounds like you were. Sounds like you were itching to stab.
Yes, but if there is a plan, I'm happy to listen to a plan.
That's fair. I just wasn't sure how impatient you are missing a leg. No offense. How did that happen?
On these.
Don't just ask people how they're missing a leg.
I did. I just did.
Yeah, and she kind of like twists her leg at the knee, and it moves with like perfect articulation. And goes, "Oh, I've had this for years."
Although that didn't happen here. Oh, that's fair. It's quite beautiful, by the way. I would like to see what's higher than that, but that's for another time. You talk about the flesh golem and missing love. You don't happen to know what the missing love is, do you?
No, I figured it was just a myth.
I'm sure it probably was. So the person here, the man, he wants to build the flesh golem is the bride.
Oh, he's already built the bride. She's downstairs trying on the wedding dress that you just brought.
Yeah, but that's just a flesh golem. Was it some innocent person or piece by piece?
Piece by piece. There's a reason that the graves of Kresk have been disturbed.
So are my, I don't know if they're my friends, but Zazel's friends, if he can call them, are they in danger right now, messing with the bride?
The Abbot is one of those people that as long as you are friendly to him, he's not going to do anything. Stay friendly and he'll be fine. I would recommend leaving, though, unless you are planning on, unless you're planning on attacking the Abbot, and I will definitely help you with that.
Well, do you know if there's any hags here?
As far as I'm aware, there's no one here other than the Abbot and the Bellevues.
Did the Bellevues really ask to be that way? Or is that his excuse?
It's the story he told me, and as far as I could tell, he's being truthful.
And, two more things. One, would he rally to Strahd's aid if called upon? And B, does he have any allies here right now besides the Flesh Golem?
The Abbot is definitely an ally of Strahd. So, if Strahd was there like, oh yeah, come fight for me, he will do that. In terms of allies, he has 2 Flesh Golems. So they will both join in the fight. The other one is downstairs.
What are they?
Oh, they're practice run.
No, yes, I know, but like that's supposed to be Strahd's bride. This is now like what? Locked in a door?
No,
What?
so there is one that is the bride,
Yes.
and there is another who was the practice dummy.
And they're locked up?
No.
Or they wander.
They wander.
What? Okay. No, you answered that question already. Well, then, would you like to come with me? Let's not talk about what we just talked about. I'll approach them quietly to the side, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
Because it sounds like you're in, and I just want you, like, there's a blood seal and everything. It's a joke. Sorry, you're really beautiful. You want to come? I mean, do you, not, like, right now, I mean, join?
If joining your group means that we're going to take a stab at Strahd, then I am all in.
I hope you were in me. I mean, yep, you're in. Okay, come on. Turns and walks away.
It'll be easier if we go, this way. And she gestures to, like, another door. Not the one you came through, but, like, on the opposite end.
Perfect. There's a lot of screaming in the other room.
Oh, yeah. The beauty of long-standing places. They're haunted.
Yep. I'll sure lead the way.
And she begins to
please
walk.
be in front of me. Thank you.
Yeah, so looking over, like, the weaponry that she has on her, because your immediate thought after, oh, like, really cool prosthetic leg is, oh, she's absolutely, like, stacked.
Sweet.
So she has, at the very least, one sword, because you can see the scabbard. She also has, like, an axe strapped to her hip. She also has another, like, shorter sword, like, attached to the other hip. She's got what looks like a bandolier across her chest under the trench coat, but you can't actually see, like, what's being kept in it.
Grade 8 badass, got it.
And then as she begins to walk away, you're actually quite impressed with the fact that, if anything, the foot with the boot makes more noise than the metal foot.
I like it. She's hot.
As she begins to step, like, the thud of, like, the sole of her boot actually makes more noise than the creaking of the metal.
Look, Serenity's already falling head over heels. You stop, just stop.
So I will say that because that conversation is relatively quick, that by the time that Aurora has finished demonstrating, I'll probably say like a simple braid and then maybe like one other hairstyle.
Mm-hmm.
Serenity and the lady, because you never asked her name, is now just walking into the main hall.
Hi, guys.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Hey, Jack, do you have a minute?
I'll see why not. Sure.
Awesome. I didn't get your name. I felt like you what's your name?
She kind of like chuckles under her breath at that. Just gives a very nonchalant wave to everyone in the room. Goes, "Good afternoon, Abbot. It's good to see you." And he like gives her a bow of like, oh, he knows her. But she looks to everyone else and goes, "Hello. My name is Esmeralda. It's a pleasure to meet you all."
Damn, she's hot. She says that out loud. Oh, yeah, okay. Hey, Jack, come over here. I need a minute. She's fully red in the face.
Is everything? Jack will go on over and is everything all right?
Everything's great. It's really warm in here.
Do you need to go outside? You're looking a little flushed.
No, no. Were we in earshot, DM, of anybody?
You can essentially move as far away as you like.
Sure, I'm not trying to make it super obvious, but I was just, I mean, like, I don't want to interrupt, like, the bride and whatnot, you know what I mean? So,
yeah, we can say that you can go outside into the courtyard, and that should probably be alright.
Just a little bit, yeah. We don't need to go too far. Well, I just want to say, she's awesome. She also doesn't like the same people you don't like. So she's in whatever that is. Hopefully in me. I'm sorry, that's later.
I did not need to know that information.
What did I say?
Nothing. Continue.
Okay. Also, stop. I'm trying to be serious. Damn it! You're laughing. That's a flesh column. The thing that Aurora is touching right now is a flesh column.
Oh.
It's supposed to be Big S's new bride. So it would be two options, I'd say. But I was told you're in charge. We could just leave right now, and we're all free to leave, no issues. But he's an ally that would rally upon, or we try to take them both out now. But no, there's another flesh golem wandering around. That was the test dummy somewhere around.
Fair enough. Wait. Hold on.
Okay, and she holds on to you. It's odd, but okay. Are you dizzy?
What the fuck? You didn't need to actually hold on. Run this by me again. Okay. That's not a person in there.
No, that's a flesh column. That's supposed to be Strahd's new bride, but there's another one walking around here that's just a test dummy. And I want Esmeralda in me.
So he can make them?
I guess so. Well, no, piece by piece. Like that's why the graveyard's ransacked. Desecrated, whatever you want to say.
So that's made from dead people.
Aurora's touching dead people right now.
Okay.
Just as a footnote, Aurora isn't touching dead people. Aurora's touching Sonder. Dead people is watching Aurora touch Sonder.
I
don't know this. Hey, depending on how this next encounter goes, it might be the same thing. So.
I'm putting that in the quote book.
Look, I was
Finally,
gone
it's
during
not
that
me.
conversation. I wasn't there, and when I came back, I heard they were doing something. I'm like, they're touching them.
Finally, it's not me that makes it into the quote book. Thank God.
I've read the quote book a couple of times. I like it. So what's the plan? Are we fighting? We leaving? There'll
I
be.
don't see a reason why we need to fight him right now.
He is an ally. He will, if called upon, assist Strahd. I mean, Strahd also knows that we're here right now, so. Did you forget that he knows where you are at all times?
I have not forgotten that, no. But as of right now, he's also an ally to us. He has the capability of resurrecting one of us. If we
don't think that's somebody you want to have. We know. If I die, no. Or rather, stay dead than be resurrected by him, because more than likely, I'm not going to be me, or there's going to be other parts of people in me. So I decline that option for myself. If you want that, I guess that's okay. But if I know he's making people out of other people, why would I want to be arrested? Why would I want to be one of the things that he makes other people out of? Sorry, it seems a little illogical. I didn't mean to call you stupid to your face. I'm sorry.
We watched him do it. He doesn't resurrect people from other people. He just resurrects the body using his magic.
Where do you think he gets his magic from?
I assume a god.
Okay. I still decline.
Fair enough. If he makes brides, though, that could be beneficial if Strahd likes them. He's not going to, though. This is Strahd we're talking about.
Well, he's also got Irina right now, so, time crunch slightly.
If we take care of the Abbot, if we do fight him, what about the other people?
What about him?
The people he's caring for.
They're not people. That's not people. There's nothing there. It's called a monstrosity. There is no mind. There is no soul. That's not people.
They were people.
Yeah, past tense were. They're not now.
It doesn't mean they can't go back to being people.
Would you want to come back from that?
Given the option, yes. Give it a second chance at life, yes.
So one thing Azazel's taught me is not everything deserves a second chance, and some things, it's more merciful to put them out of their misery than it is to try to help them. I don't think those are people. They were, but again, past tense. I mean, they aren't now. And after everything that they've probably been through already with him here, again, I'm not leading anything here. You can tell me to leave, and I can go back to Azazel if that's what you prefer.
What do you mean with everything that he's been doing with them here?
I don't know what he's been doing here. He's been making things. For all sakes and purposes, I don't think he's human either. You do this to different people and create things like this, you're not human. Trust me, I'm the one that glass is half full. There's good in everybody, but there's not here. I've had to learn that one the hard way in the past. but we've been out here for a really long time. It's probably getting suspicious. You need to make a decision. What is your decision?
How do we know what you're saying is true? Do you know what? I can figure that out. If it's a golem, I could potentially figure that out.
Careful trying to figure that out. You're then treating it like it's not human and beautiful, and that will also probably set him off.
Well, if he finds out, I can cast Detect Magic here, and then we can walk back.
So Golem a magical?
That depends, maybe.
I don't think they're magical. DM, are golems magical? Do I know anything about this?
Make an Arcana check.
I will.
You're doing the same thing.
16.
Nat 1, let's go!
You're the magic person here, you asshole!
I made a construct, not a golem!
16, I guess. I'm slightly arcane.
From what you remember, Serenity, there is magic involved in creating golems of any type, but once they're created, they are like functioning beings in their own right. So while Jack will probably get a faint aura of something magical, but then it would be no different of walking into a room and someone like wearing a magic ring. Like there'd just be this faint aura of like, oh, there's something going on there.
But that wouldn't wouldn't that also go for like a cleric?
Yeah,
Because of having like magical abilities and shit.
Yeah, so if someone has like magical abilities or they're doing like they have the ability to cast magic, then that usually sometimes pops up on a detect magic, not always.
So I don't know. They're more like beings. You might see something faint, but that could also just mean that they're like, oh, you know, a cleric or a wizard or something. But you need to make a decision now. And we need to go back in there. This is looking really weird.
This is looking really weird.
And I'm away from Esmeralda right now.
What?
You need to make a decision right now. You need to make a decision right now.
Aware.
You're thinking too much.
It's a hard choice.
It's not. You either do or you don't.
Because there's a lot of repercussions if we do as well.
Mm-hmm.
We need the city on our side. The people like the Abbot.
Is that your decision? I don't care one way or the other. You make it seem like I'm trying to sway you. I'm not. You just need to make a decision right now.
We're not doing anything. Alright.
Okay. Alright. Well, let's just leave right now then, because that's the next best case scenario. You need to leave. That's what Esmeralda said.
Alrighty.
Alright. I'm gonna walk in there and throw up like I'm sick. I'm gonna get to the door, and I'm just gonna put my fingers down my throat. I'm gonna try to make myself throw up.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Saving throw. Oh, come on!
Yeah, Serenity, no matter how hard you try, you just end up coating your fingers in spit.
You need to punch me in my stomach, or my throat.
And
You You need to punch me right now. Do it, bitch. She'll like punch you in the shoulder. No, she'll just like give you a little slap.
What is wrong with this person?
He's committed.
They're being played by Asher. Do you expect anything different?
Hopefully not.
Hey, hold on now. I'm being called out right now. Hang on. You're accurate, but hold on. Do it, and she'll slap you again the other direction.
Hold on a second. Is everything alright?
I'm going to try to poke him in the eye.
He'll pull his goggles down over his eye.
Does 16 hit?
Yes, actually.
I poke you in the eye before you did. Yes. Punch me.
I am not. We can just walk in and say we need to get going.
It's not as convincing. I'll open the door.
While that discussion outside was happening, you're now all met with the sight that is Esmeralda. As she looks at you all, is giving you, like, a proper look over. Like, that's probably the best way of describing it. Like, she's looking at you all head to toe, taking you in, and you can see her, like, looking for weapons, looking at armor, looking for specific things, and, like, nodding and humming as she takes in the information. The abbot turns to her. So, my dear, what brings you down to our halls? Well, in all honesty, Abbot, I felt guilty taking any more of your hospitality. I figured since the roads are quite dangerous, I would travel with this party down, hopefully able to head eastward, not having to worry about what's on the road.
Sandra immediately perks up and kind of just like looks at Aurora with like a little bit of excitement, almost kind of like a dog, and just like in his expression is just new friend, new friend, new friend.
Aurora almost mirrors that expression, just like somebody new.
And in fairness, the abbot doesn't outwardly question this. Like, he seems to accept this as an explanation. But he, for context, turns to the rest of you and says, "Oh, well, Esmeralda here has been staying with me for a couple of weeks now. Someone I've been offering room and board in exchange for services very similar to how the Burgomaster did for you all."
Sandra will like definitely nod. Well, if you need help getting somewhere, I'm pretty sure that Jack wouldn't mind. I mean, we can always use another set of hands. You look capable enough.
I appreciate the compliment, sir. At the moment, I will take just heading eastward, and then we can always talk about other plans later.
Sandra will just give her a polite smile. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Miss Esmeralda. My name is Sonder.
A pleasure. And she gives you a genuine smile. Just like it's good to meet you.
Sandra's tail is kind of just like wagging excitedly behind him. And he kind of like gestures to Aurora and Saya. we're still missing one person. She's helping the burgermaster right now, but these two are Aurora and Saya. They're also part of our group.
Pleasure to meet you, and you have a most beautiful name.
I thank you. I cannot take the credit for my name. It was chosen for me, but I will sure to pass on the compliments when I have the time.
New person. Saya's just like, hi.
Sandra will kind of just like slightly bend down to Saya. Just with a little bit more enthusiasm. Give her a wave.
And she just turns to Sandra. You wave at her then. I don't want to.
Sandra will kind of just like click his tongue. Not in like a condescending way, but in a fine. And he just kind of gives her a wave.
Back talk.
When you both look over, Esmeralda is kind of like quirked an eyebrow upward to be like, okay.
Saya doesn't do well with new people sometimes. It takes a bit for her to warm up to you.
Oh. That's perfectly fine. Sarah, I don't expect you to warm up to me right away. After all, it hasn't even been 5 minutes yet.
The name is pretty, I'll give you that.
Thank
But
you.
it's very cold still.
My name is cold, or the weather is cold?
It's just cold.
Saya, aren't you always cold?
Maybe.
So
And then she
just like scratches the back of his head, like, what is happening?
She just puts her hands on Saunders' cheeks. Like that?
Yes. You're always quite frigid, to be honest with you.
For this entire exchange, Aurora, Esmeralda has been looking at the two of them bickering, then back to you, to the two of them bickering, then back to you, as almost looking for confirmation that this is normal.
Aurora kind of gives like a smile and kind of like a half shrug, like, yeah, this is pretty normal.
And I'd say that is what Jack and Serenity like kind of come back into, in the sense that Esmeralda is looking between the group, Saya and Sandra look like they're having their own private conversation. Vasilka has, in fairness, not moved from the chair that she was placed in by the abbot, but she now seems a lot more... I think the best way of wording it is probably like, she looks tired. She looks quite lethargic. I was trying to think of the best way to describe it, but yeah, we'll go with lethargic. And the abbot kind of clocks this and goes, oh, well, it is lovely that you have been able to make each other's acquaintances. Please, if at any point you would like to come back, the doors are open to you.
Thank you.
Then just out of nowhere, Saya turns to Jack and just like crosses her arms and goes, why do we keep picking up strays, Captain? Oh, Captain.
Why is she mimicking Azazel?
Wow. All right. Hold up. That's look. Identity theft is not a joke. All right. It happens to millions of family every year.
Yeah, Sandra kind of just, like, looks at her with, like, such a confused face and is like, well, this is new. Saya, are you feeling alright? And he, like, puts the back of his hand on her forehead.
I'm fine. It's just first Serenity shows up out of nowhere, who I still think is probably Azazel. Now we have Esmeralda, who's apparently Serenity's pet.
This stray is nobody's pet. And she's looking at you with, like, actually a pretty disgusted look. I'm voluntarily leaving with you because we apparently have the same places to be. But if you disagree with that, then I'm happy to leave.
Saya, that was not very nice to say. I know you're confused and a bit agitated at the influx of new people, but that was a bit rude.
Fine. Sorry.
You're almost there. Say it with your chest. An apology is an apology unless you mean it.
And she's pretty much, like, you can tell she's not in the mood. She's either tired or just everything's starting to sink into her at once right now. But she's just kind of looks over and go, fine, I'm sorry, okay? Can we just figure out what the hell's going on now? We have too many things to figure out.
Sandra kind of just gives a little bit of a sigh and kind of like pulls Saya's hood up over her head and is just quietly like, well, I know somebody needs to have a little bit of sensory deprivation time once we all leave. You're getting cranky. When we get back, you can wash your clothes and we can have some food. He'll just kind of like turn back to Esmeralda and just give her a very tired smile, and it's just like, it's very apologetic, and he just mouths, I'm so sorry, to her, and turns back to Saya.
Before you turn back, Sonder, you catch, like, from Esmeralda, this very, like, passive-aggressive eye roll that is very much the thing of, like, oh, fuck, now I've got to deal with children.
Yeah.
But she doesn't say anything.
Understandable.
I know that I'm glad to have met both Esmeralda and Serenity. I happen to love making new friends. And she'll, like, affectionately, like, pat Sonder on the arm and everything in emphasis. It's like, new friend.
Yeah, no. Sandra kind of just gives her, like, a grateful smile. New friends are always welcome. By most of us. We're always happy to have, more people to talk with and maybe get a new perspective on things.
Two are always happy to meet new people, though.
You can never have too many friends.
Aurora will give Saya a sympathetic smile. I know we've met a lot of people recently, but not every hello needs to be a terrible one.
Yeah, with that, I think the abbot looks to you all, because you've done all this just in front of the abbot. He's going to look to you all and go, well, from the sounds of it, you have some getting to know each other time needed, and I think it best that you do it in a place that is more suited for you. But as I said before, please feel free at any point to visit. My door is open to you all, and if you have any questions, I will do my best to at least try and answer.
Thank you very much for your hospitality, and showing us in. Sorry to take up so much of your time.
No need to apologize. Other than my dinner duties, which aren't for a couple of hours yet. I was simply just waiting for the dress. Which we now have. And Vasilka, turns and looks up at him with, this big beaming smile. But, I wish you all a good journey, a good rest of your day.
Sandra will nod, and kind of he still has his hand kind of on Saya's shoulder, so he'll give her a little bit of a tug as we're gonna get going. Same to you. Enjoy the rest of your day.
But he smiles and gives you a wave, and Vasilka does actually wave in return. So to say goodbye, she waves to you all.
Sandra will most definitely wave back.
And with that, you are essentially followed by the two guardsmen back out through the curtain wall and back into the courtyard of the Abbey.
Yeah, Jack's just gonna be heading his way back where they came, back down the mountain.
While we're heading down the mountain, Sandra is definitely walking next to Esmeralda and just kind of he's definitely very happy that we have somebody else. And he asks her a bit shyly where she got her jacket. It looks very nice on her, and she seems to be very skilled with weaponry, and blah 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 blah.
There is a little bit of a chuckle, as it's not hard to pick up, especially for you, Sonda, that she started the walk down the mountain quite prickly.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that what Saya said maybe didn't offend her, but at the very least got her miffed. So you breaking the tension of asking her little small icebreaker questions does eventually crack that harder exterior. And she does start answering your questions. Specifically for the jacket, she says, it's one of the pieces I have had for a long time. My old mentor always recommended to buy a heavy-duty, thick leather coat. It can be just as good as any armor that you wear.
Sandra will definitely nod in agreement. I definitely agree to that sentiment. Leather is extremely useful and has many properties that a lot of people don't really recognize. Whoever your mentor is very smart.
Oh, he is / was. I don't actually know if he's alive anymore, but he was a very smart man.
He just gives her like a smile and a nod of like, I understand. And he'll ask her like, basically like, if she knows how to like upkeep leather very well. Because like he has a few tricks up his sleeve if she ever needs anything, or if it needs repairs or anything, that he's her guy type of jazz. Just to be like, yes, let's get this talking. Let's get this mood a little bit more settled. We're all friends. It's okay.
She does give you a smile and does even say like that she appreciates the offer. She does say, in fairness, I have quite a bit of equipment. At some point, when we head eastward, we can go back to my caravan, and I could be able to share some supplies with you all if we get to that point.
His ears like definitely perk up at that, and he gives her like a very excited smile where it's like the full teeth, so where she can see like the little gap that he has between his teeth. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you. I'm sure if you need anything from any of us, we'd be very happy to oblige. Anything in return, honestly.
Well, if what your party member says is true, and she gestures back to Serenity, we're on the same team. I also want to rip Strahd a new asshole. So.
Then we'll be in great company then. Welcome to the team.
I'll say whenever they turn around to look at Serenity. Serenity's been behind, not too far, grumpy as fuck because someone's taking Esmeralda's attention and walking and talking constantly, and they are just so like slouched over, arms fucking crossed, head down. As they turn over, she's all like shoulders back, straight, looking up, and just kind of gives like a little wave. As soon as they turn back around, back to just fucking pissed off and infuriated. He leans over to Aurora like, who the fuck put her in a bad mood? And then why is he talking to her so much?
Sandra likes making friends. So do I, for that matter. So it's great to have you here with us.
To answer the other question, why was she angry?
Saya's still adjusting.
What did she say?
She's.
Oh, she made me weird, didn't she?
She's still adjusting to meeting new people and was perhaps a little cranky.
What did she say?
Nothing much, really.
That's a lie. You're a horrible liar.
And I am not the sort to speak ill of someone.
She say you're not speaking ill, you're speaking factual.
Well, the important thing is she's in a better mood now, though, right?
You're not. Why are you dodging it? It had. Oh, she probably said. Oh, she said it was weird. She said I was a mute, didn't she?
No, not at all.
That this was a wig.
She's just not as open to having new people around.
She say.
That was it, really. She's not open to new people right now. But her mood's improved.
Don't tell me. I don't care anymore. I'm gonna go back to pouting. Goodbye.
Hey, no. You are new here too, and I would like to get to know you.
Just side I do.
What? You know enough about us to pass on the comment from us that I'm apparently the pretty one, and yet no mention that I like to make friends?
No, I'm deciding you want to get to know me. Azazel said no one truly wants to get to know anybody. They're all looking for personal gain.
Then I suppose my personal gain is getting to know people.
What do you want?
Just to get to know you and to make a friend.
We'll see. I won't be really long enough to do ain't much else, but you know, I'm always happy to learn more people. No, I just have him around. And she just in flight pointing her head, but he's been quiet lately.
Who is he?
I call him Bob.
Fucking Bob, I'm crying.
That's why I don't know. He doesn't tell me his name, but I just call him Bob.
How long have you been here?
Oh, a good bit. I've been working here with Zazel for a while. You know, we probably a couple of years, probably more than that, more than a couple, longer than I would like. We worked outside of Markovia as well, but that seems like a lifetime ago.
It sounds like it.
Because it is.
So. She just pauses for a second, chewing on her lip. I don't entirely remember every question, but, favorite food, favorite book, favorite song, favorite color. She's essentially very playfully trying to, toss Azazel's quick list back from when he met everybody.
Oh, asking, the same questions as you asked him?
Yeah, she's trying to remember, but essentially just kind of doing her own from what she doesn't remember.
From what you do remember, I'd say probably 85% of the answers are going to be different, except for food. Food it would be the same, and some certain random activities.
Yeah, no, she's not trying to, compare his answers to Azazel. It's when we were all on the road, Azazel was, doing the rapid-fire questions to the rest of the party of, what's your favorite color, what's your favorite food, so on and so forth.
I gotcha.
She's trying to do that with serenity.
Fair
just to
enough.
try and get to know her.
Yeah, you'll get You'll get a little bit here and there. She's talkative. She's just pissed off right now that, somebody's taking Esmeralda's attention.
And
Not
Aurora.
sharing.
Aurora may or may not be trying to distract her from that.
You see, she's a one-tracked mind type person, but you're trying.
I mean, if she just asked...
No, you should just know.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
You should just know.
I don't know, I didn't see you have a lesbian panic attack over her, so I don't know anything.
I was outside trying to make myself throw up, so...
That seems like a you problem.
The equivalent.
Your captain wouldn't punch me in the throat.
Seems like a skill issue to me.
I'm sorry. I want to add that. Well, I'm sorry. I was busy trying to make myself throw up.
The captain wouldn't punch me in the eye.
Yeah, Aurora does persistently try this to keep Serenity occupied and like improve her mood like all the way back down.
Again, she's one-tracked mind, but it goes back and forth. She's almost a little ditzy, but at the same time, one-tracked mind's kind of hard.
I mean, like, eventually Saunder's gonna be like, you probably want to be left alone and not being barraged with questions. So I'm gonna go check on everybody else and see how they're doing with all of this, and then she can swoop in and be like, hey, that guy kind of sucks, right?
No, the moment's gone. Say it's silly to piss her off, and she won't be told about it, so now.
Well, sucks to be you.
This isn't Hazel anymore. I don't know why you're still trying to fuck me over.
I'm not. I'm being Saya.
Your boyfriend's a bitch.
Thank you. See? I'm so glad that's a thing now. Because your boyfriend's a bitch. That's it. I'll just got out in a conversation.
It's okay. She got a little scolded by Father Sonder over there.
Listen, it's not the first time he's had to deal with younger kids. He's an expert at this.
You see this man? He's had to tell children off before. He's a youth pastor.
I wouldn't go that far, but
He is one with the youth.
he's had to deal with rambunctious youth back in his glory days.
I love that as a description. It's just rambunctious youth.
Yeah, you know.
Learn more of Sunder's glory days.
I mean, you can always ask him.
First question, how old is actually Sonder?
He's 97.
Oh.
I love how quickly that came off the dome.
What do you want me to say? I'm an encyclopedia for my character knowledge. I
All
can
right,
give
then.
you his exact height and weight, too, if you ever need it.
Is there anything else that people want to talk about before they get down to the bottom of the mountain? Because if not, then we're going to rewind and go back to Amira, who has been left at the Burgomaster's mansion this entire time. I say mansion, it's basically a cottage.
Poor Amira. She's gonna have such a whiplash.
Considering the night I have had, so...
It'll be okay.
Alright. Everybody
Still
give...
not fixed.
Everybody put F's in the chat for Ray.
Press F to pay respects.
Exactly.
Or if you really want to be nice, like, throw some bits. That's fine.
I don't think that's even set up.
Is it not? Oh.
Someone needs to
Well, then
connect
at least
their
like
card. Or save the money so that when we do have bits set up, you can do it then. It'll be fine.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so I was told that I was out at the Burgomaster's to look after the kid.
Yes, because as soon as... I assumed that this would be accurate to the character, when as soon as everyone said, we're going to the Abbey, Amira went, I'm not.
Absolutely no.
Figured as much. So,
Would rather stick pins in my eyes.
yes. So, you watch them all head up the mountainside, heading up to the Abbey at the top of the hill, and immediately decide that you would rather just focus on other things that won't take too much mental load. And why not immediately try to distract yourself with the Burgomaster's son, who you remembered the last time that you saw him was suffering from a mild bout of deafness. And by mild, I mean he couldn't hear anything.
Yes.
So, heading into the cottage, you do see Ilya. He has almost taken over the house, where once it was this place of mourning and a place for almost his memories to be hidden. Now, his toys are all over the place. There's more colour and decorations. And you can hear him babbling away in the front room. And I say babbling because he's just really having a conversation to himself more than anything. But one thing you do notice is that in terms of volume control, he has very little.
Okay. So he's very loudly, like, babbling to himself. How old is Ilya?
Oh, if I remember correctly, he was a young boy, so, like, I'm gonna go with 8.
Okay.
When I say babble, it's not like baby talk, it's more the thing of stream of consciousness, like it's all just flowing.
Okay. So like, he is actually saying like proper words or something.
Oh yeah, like he's speaking true common.
Okay.
As the kids call it. But he also doesn't react to you entering the cottage. It isn't until his mother taps him on the shoulder that he even actually notices that you've entered.
Okay. Is he still not able to hear?
Anna pulls her son into a hug. She's more focused on saying hello to him after that she's been gone for so long. And it's Dimitri that picks up the slack for the conversation. As he looks to you and shakes his head and goes, He's regained a little bit. If you shout, he can hear you, but a lot of his hearing has been lost.
Okay, well, we knew it might not be a permanent thing. But also his body had gone through so much. I'm happy to try it again. See if it helps a little more.
You, my dear, feel free to use whatever you wish. In all honesty, we are just happy to have Aurelia back. And he can still communicate. It's just a little harder for him to listen sometimes.
Okay.
And in fairness, I'd say, Amira, before you try anything, you can tell that while there is a sad tone to the Burgomaster's voice, he is smiling. Like, just the idea of his son being brought back to him is bringing him some level of joy.
I'm not obviously gonna like shout for the stream because poor people may have headphones in, and I don't want to blow their eardrums out. So Amira will speak in like louder, but I'm not gonna do it. So, hi, Ilya. I'm gonna try a spell to see if I can help your hearing. Okay?
He looks up from where he's essentially being cradled by his mother, and he is hugging her back. He's very glad to see her, but he turns to you, and there's a little bit of a haze, but he does seem to recognize you.
Okay.
And he gives a very slow nod. And his mother does let him go, so you can touch if need
Oh,
be.
you can still hold him. You can still hold him. I don't know how you rule it. I don't know if like I actually have to like put my hands over his ears to cast a spell, or if you allow me to just like hold a hand.
Oh, like as long
How do you want to rule it?
if it's a touch spell, as long as you are touching the target, then it works. So I don't mind as long as you're actually like making contact.
Okay, so Amira will hold her hand out to Ilya.
Which he takes.
Okay, and so she'll then cast Lesser Restoration again.
Okay.
I'll throw it into the chat. If it works.
Only if it works.
Yeah. There we are. So she casts it on him, and she's gonna speak normally again. Can you hear me now? And if he doesn't respond, we'll speak up slightly higher, like a little bit louder. Like, can you hear me now?
It takes you
And she'll keep.
yeah, it essentially takes you a couple of increments. And you keep going, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Like getting louder and louder. And you're essentially at the point where you're basically stage yelling, and like you're projecting to speak, and at that point he smiles and points. It's like, I can hear you.
Is that a marked improvement?
Yes and no, in the sense of you're not having to speak as loudly, but it also helps that you're being very clear with your diction.
Okay.
And speaking in a slower pace and a slower tone.
I look to the Burgomaster. Is that about the same volume that you usually have to speak?
He kind of gives you that like so hand symbol. So it's like the waving it backwards and forwards. Yes. Some days are better than others.
Okay.
And he again like goes into that projected speech so that Ilya can also hear. I think he finds it easier when he can read your lips too. Almost put a sight to the sound.
She stays looking at like her face being on the same light level as Ilya, but her eyes look at the Burgomaster as she's talking. So that's also a good thing for him to learn to lip read, because that will help. Is sign language a thing here?
If it
Or
is,
no?
it's not something that you've encountered.
Okay.
Damn
You
it, if
might-
only Aspen was here.
Yeah, I know. Also keeping, like, maybe a chalkboard or a notepad and quill around might help. But Ilya seems to be doing great.
And in fairness to him, the Burgomaster does look back to you and return your smile, and it fills you with quite a lot of hope that, no, he is doing better and he seems to be okay. Admittedly not back to the way that he used to be, but he is back. And that's more than some people can say.
Hmm.
Is there anything else you wish to do?
No, she'll wait for the others to get back. She'll probably do some chores.
Hmm.
So, like, chop wood, find eggs, milk a cow, kind of thing.
Oh, definitely. The Burgomaster initially tries to, like, stop you. Tries to say things like, oh, you've already done enough. You don't need to. You can stay here as long as you wish.
I'm still gonna pull my weight. I'm an extra person. And if my friends are coming back too, that's also more extra people. So I'm still gonna help out.
But I would say that everything that's been done today didn't take any more than an hour.
Okay.
Because while there was a lot of talking, there wasn't a lot of moving around the building. So I'll say that by 3 p.m, everyone is back down the mountain. And that's when you notice, Amira, there's someone new with them. I will make sure to find... Actually, I can probably do that now. I'm going to find a picture of Esmeralda so that I can send it to you all and be like, this is what she looks like. But you all now are together again. There's a few things that you're going to need to catch Amira up on.
We can do that off stream so it isn't so boring full stream.
We can also just be like, yeah, hey, Amira, this is all that happened. And
True.
and it can literally just be that because you were here listening to it.
Not all the time. No. Just long story short, my front door isn't working properly, so I've had to like be in and out of call constantly.
I'll catch you up after. I'll catch you up
So-
after stream to make sure that everyone is aware.
Yeah. Just, I don't want it to be boring for stream, so. But yeah, would see the new person. Who's our new friend?
Unless new friend wants to introduce herself, Sandra would step up and just be very excited about the whole thing.
No. She's quite happy to step forward. No. Esmeralda, I'm told that we have similar goals. As she holds out her hand for a shake.
Yeah, we'll shake her hand. Probably a bit of a firm handshake.
In fairness, looking at her, she's not necessarily strong. She's not built, but you can see that from her movement, she is incredibly nimble. And she's very agile and fluid with her movements.
Perfect. Okay. I'm Amira.
Pleasure.
Amira Cole.
She quirks her eyebrow a bit at the name, but doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
I was told that we were going to be heading eastward together. We don't need to do that right now, but it sounds like the plan.
Sidib told you that we're going to see Baba Lysaga?
Immediately, eyes go wide. I was like, no, that was a convenient detail that was left out of the discussions. As she turns to look at Serenity really?
In all fairness, Serenity also doesn't know the fact. Well, I think Serenity does know we're going to Baba Lysaga, but the reason we're going is because myself and potentially some other people in the party, we're getting nightmares from hags. And we can't find that hag. We killed 2 out of 3 in a windmill. Third one's still out there causing havoc. In order to save time, instead of having a wild goose hunt, we're just gonna go straight to the source of Baba Lysaga. Thoughts?
You're getting haunted by hags in your nightmares.
Yeah, and trust me, it's real weird. Because at first point, I thought they were premonition. Or, a message from my deity. Turns out, no. Just a hag.
I might actually have a solution for you that isn't just you going to talk to one of the most dangerous creatures in this realm.
Oh, I'm not proud of it. I'm just trying to be efficient and manage our time and not waste it because, let's call a spade a spade. Strahd needs to die.
Oh no, that I can agree with.
Is
What's
it
your
clear
idea,
to
though?
Amira that she is a Vistani?
Just make a general intelligence check for me.
Aww. Why's it gotta be my dump stat?
Because you're asking me if you figure something out, and figuring something out is very much your intelligence.
Yeah, I need to dice jail these dice.
I will say, with a 5, because of how colourful her clothing is, and because of certain trends that you've noticed popping up throughout your travels, she has a soul. She's sassy, seems to have a bit more emotion, brightly dressed.
Mm-hmm. Amira obviously clocks that, as you've said, smiles at her. It's like, you're like me.
Huh. Quirks an eyebrow at that. In what
He just
way?
shrugs. We're the lucky ones.
And she outwardly starts chuckling at that. Oh my dear, I would not call my life lucky.
never would I call mine lucky. It's just more the fact that we have souls.
Oh. In that case, yeah.
Small victories when you're in Barovia, you take them.
And enough about what I contain inside my chest. Are we leaving now? Walking, talking, resting? What are we doing?
Chest? I always feel like it's in the back.
I'm heading out, but you said you had another idea that might be able to help Mira.
I was about to bring that up too. Like, if we don't have to go talk to the hag, that would be great.
Well, it's more the thing
quite
of...
agreeable if we don't have to do that.
It's a limitation in the sense that you would need to go there every night, but I do know somewhere that you could sleep and you wouldn't be able to be attacked.
San Andreas?
Well, there's an old disused wizard's tower, but there seems to be a magical effect around it.
Sonder definitely perks up at that. Where is this wizard's tower?
North?
From where we are right now, and like she points to like the ground of Kresk, I think it's technically due east, but we need to go slightly south if we're following the pathways. So it's like, She kind of like gestures to like a northeastward direction with her arm.
Because Saunders thinking about what him and Irina were talking about with the mad spellcaster. So he's just like, is that in the same area?
Technically the same direction.
Huh, okay. I will definitely keep that in mind.
Well, if it works, saves us from needing to possibly go talk to someone for a little bit, but what are your thoughts on Mira?
More afraid of going to a wizard's tower than a hag. How do you think the tower might help us? Is it just asleep? Or do you think there'll actually be something in there that can help us?
Oh no, it's more that I haven't been able to identify it, but essentially there is some kind of magical effect put on the tower itself that stops magic.
Oh.
Like, you can't use magic while in the tower, which admittedly is a debuff if you are a magic user, but it also means that magic can't be used on you.
Which is a good thing.
Hearing that, Saya slinks back.
So yes, admittedly it means that from a defensive position it's not brilliant, but if what you're needing is a peaceful night's sleep, where no magical effect can affect you.
I mean, it would be good. Make sure we're all properly rested.
It also depends on where you're planning on traveling today, since it's already late afternoon.
Would we be able to get to this tower today?
Oh, we'll definitely be able to get to the tower today, it's just whether you're wanting to do anything else.
I think we go to the tower, we take a rest there, and that way we got a full day ahead of us for everything else.
Considering before we were just going to head to the hag, I like this idea a lot more. I just have to leave Simon outside, because I don't know how he'll do if I take him inside?
Well, if you want to, you can leave him inside my caravan. I can lock it and make it safe.
That would be lovely. He doesn't take up that much space. He's very small.
Alrighty.
Yeah, will it get rid of magical items, magical abilities?
Oh no, it just it suppresses it while you're in an aura. I've tested it.
Okay.
You can literally walk like 5 feet away from the tower and you can cast magic. And then as soon as you step into the tower's vicinity, no magic.
Okay. So if I casted a spell on the outside and I walk in, it stops, or the spell's still there?
Oh no, the spell would stop. But then if you walked
I'm sorry,
out of...
okay.
If it stops, but if you walk then out of the circle again, it would, like, as far as I'm aware, it would still... I haven't been able to do a lot of practice.
Okay.
So we can always experiment with low-level spells.
Okay.
And I think it's at that moment that she kind of, for the first time, notices King. And, like, actually takes in the fact that it is an automaton rather than, like, a person. And she just kind of looks him up and down and goes, well, I know who I need to go to if my leg breaks.
If you want, I can take a look at it for you. See how it's doing.
Oh no, like, for now, she is completely fine. But for later, just in case.
Good to know it's a she as well.
Oh, yes.
How long have you had it?
I have had Belinda for a good couple of years now.
Belinda, I love that so much.
I will show you her later.
Was it fair enough.
Oh, it was I don't mind sharing, it was a werewolf attack.
Oh, so you had to cut it off to stop it spreading?
Oh no, my leg was ripped off.
Oh, okay. Wow. Oh. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I left it ambiguous, and that is my fault. But no, the werewolf took the leg, and I didn't get lycanthropy, but I was left immobile for quite a few months.
Val from across the grave. Fuck werewolves! All my homies hate werewolves!
But no, I had an artisan craft me Belinda, and she served me well so far.
It is beautiful craftsmanship. I mean, I'm not well versed in the mechanical variety, but that is beautiful. All the wax carving that they would have to do and then pour the metal in, it's beautiful.
And the best part, and she, you watch as she, using King for balance and support, lifts up two clasps, almost like you would for a mason jar lid, and just twists what would be the kneecap, and the entire lower leg rotates and comes off.
Oh.
You see Jack's eyes light up.
And the best way of describing it is because you can see the base where the leg would suction to, And from the looks of it, someone has essentially grafted a metal stopgap to her bone.
That's gotta ache so bad when it gets cold.
So it's her thigh that is covered by the trouser leg. Then, whereas the trouser leg continues into the boot on her other leg, on this leg, it actually is cropped. And you can see, like, basically the top of her knee and what's left of it. It's then been flattened, and a brass cap has been screwed and welded into her leg.
Ow.
But the reason that she's taken it off is, like, she then shows it to whoever cares. And, like, it's incredibly easy to clean. Like, you can get right up in there in the gears and the joints, and if there's any mud, oh, it's brilliant. And then with one very swift, like, put into motion and click, the leg is back in place.
I am needing to get myself a look on that leg. Nothing like that. Just I love different craftsmanships. I love to see how different people do different things, and well, might inspire some ideas for King.
As long as you give it back to me before I go to sleep, I don't really mind. As long as I'm sat.
I do not mean to be taking it from you for any extended periods of time. I just want to take a look, see how it was made.
Of course.
See the intricate pieces, how it ticks.
Mm-hmm. She just kind of rolls her eyes playfully and just goes, "You artisans are all the same."
Yeah. I like to think most of us have a nice respect for the trades and want to learn what we can. Help perfect our own trade. So, it's understandable.
She is smiling, but she looks up at the sun and its position in the sky, or at least where the light is shining through the cloud cover. It's going to take us probably about an hour to get to the tower. So we don't need to go right away if there is something you'd rather do first. But it's something to bear in mind.
I don't have anything in mind right now. Plus, if there's any hassle on our way there or there, I'd like to get there sooner than trying to deal with it later.
I know you said, that you do want, to kill Strahd. We're not on the best of terms right now, so, he might send a pack of wolves after us, just as a heads up. That happened to us this morning, actually.
Are you capable in a fight?
Sonder kind of just looks at Jack like, have you seen her? She can fight.
Looks can be deceiving. You never know people's experiences. They survive, but we don't know how they survived.
Jack, she has like 3 swords.
It could be an intimidation factor.
There's definitely a moment of like her signature like quirked eyebrow of questioning, and then you watch her begin to mutter something under her breath, a few hand and finger motions, and she's gone. I mean, like, in the blink of an eye, she was once there, and now she is gone.
Invisibility? Question mark?
Can I say a
Sorry.
Can I have Sayed, like, perform, like, an Arcana check to know what you might have done?
Roll an Arcana check for
I
me.
was gonna ask the same thing. Are the hand motions, pinging anything?
Anyone that wants to figure out can do an Arcana check.
I don't know. She just did something.
I got a dirty 20.
Saya, she definitely cast a spell. Aurora, she definitely cast a spell.
That is 100% bona fide magic right there.
It's like, oh damn,
Yep.
spicy magic right there. So, Amira and Sonda, you recognize some of the incantations, and you definitely recognize some of the glyphs that she was beginning to draw in the air. It is invisibility, but both of you would see it as something that took a little bit more time to prepare and a little bit more practice and incantation. It wasn't just a standard invisibility, it is a greater invisibility.
Holy shit. Okay.
And it's
Sandra
as
will
you're
kind of just... Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's as you're figuring that out, and you can see like the eyes widening, and you're looking at each other, being like, "Oh my god, Jack!" You feel the point of something press into your neck.
I'll take that as a yes.
The beauty of this spell is that I can actually do things without ever showing my face.
That is very useful, actually.
It's one of the reasons I was able to walk around Barovia as much as I have.
Are you able to cast that on other people as well, or just yourself?
Only on one person, so now I have cast it on myself. I cannot cast it on someone else today.
Fair enough.
But tomorrow, a whole different story.
I'll keep that in mind. Share some of your tricks with us. Share some of mine with you. You've seen King. Well, I don't have blades per se. Bit of a tinkerer myself and make items, so I can partially enchant them. As well as throw cards.
Yeah, don't play cards with him, he cheats.
I will say that for everyone else's perspective, right now the only reason that Jack knows that Esmeralda is there is because the blade has only just been removed. So for everyone else, they can just see Jack looking over his shoulder, and then you can hear Esmeralda's voice. That is all you can see.
She has to be part of the team. She has to be part of the team.
Yep.
She has to be part of the team, please. Well, if we're, Sonder holds up quotation marks, giving away trade secrets, I'm a druid, and I turn into large animals and eat people. I also have a stick that I like to smack people with. Just holds up the great club.
I feel like at that point Serenity would jump in just being like, "Hi, I throw knives." And just does like a little bit of a knife display. Eager puppy syndrome. Just wanting to do something cool.
Oh, 100%. Girl is already head over heels.
Well, don't feel you have to share everything right now. I'm sure I will see it as we travel.
Well, for all fairness, it's good to know that Sonder can turn into animals before he does so. You've had a little bit of a mistaken identity with Serenity.
Yeah,
How's that?
that was a bit of my bad. I thought she was a threat, so I was going to eat her at first. But we stopped, and the air was cleared, and it was fine. Sorry about that. He just turns to Serenity with like a, the like, puts the pointer fingers together. Just, sorry.
Jack, I need a minute with you.
Fair enough. For everyone to walk on ahead. Kind of trail behind the...
Just for the sake of, just so I've got it picturing in my mind, you're now having this conversation as you're walking out of Krezk and you're heading towards this tower that Esmeralda's talked about.
Yeah.
Just so that I'm aware. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you carry on having your conversations just so I've got it pictured in my head, like, oh, you're doing this as you're walking.
She looks at Jack and goes, I'm concerned about the tower. I know I can use weapons, but I'm a magic user. I can't use magic in there.
Neither will I. Or Sonder.
But what? But what are we gonna do if something happens?
Step number 1, get outside of the tower.
I was gonna ask to stay at the inn, but I ended up coming along with you guys.
Don't want us to be separate.
I would have
Things
been
get
safe.
dangerous.
I would have been safe in the inn, Jack. Nothing happens there.
Understand, but that's all the way in Vallaki. If we need to do anything, we'd have to go all the way from the tower down to Vallaki and then to wherever we need to go.
True. We're backtracking a lot.
Roads are also not that safe. Don't want you to be walking out and getting jumped by wolves.
Alright. In that case...
Trust me. We'll be fine. We'll be able to cast things inside the tower, but we'll be alright. One thing I am curious, though, is the innate ability to be able to walk through walls. Is that a magical thing, or is that something you'll still be able to do in there?
She tilts her head, thinking about it for a second. I think it's something I should just be able to do. But I can always test it. And if I walk into the wall, it might hurt a little bit.
Something worth a try. Because if you can, then, well, something does go awry, you have the greatest advantage. You can get outside easiest.
We even trust her? Are we sure? So what she can do invisibility? Any one of us could go invisible if we wanted to.
You have that spell? You're able to do that spell? You can use
You're not
that
in.
spell?
You're not in this conversation.
Oh, am I not?
Nope.
I'm so sorry. I've been in and out of things trying to deal with shit.
All right.
Technically, Sonder and Amir are talking, but it's fine.
Oh. Okay, cool.
We all right, so.
You promise to protect us then?
Let's stay warm.
Okay, as long as you keep your word. Don't break any promises.
Best not to.
And she just kind of nods and just kind of casually moves away from him, just keeping to herself.
Okay. I think that's a good place to end the session there. We can catch up with the tower at the beginning of next session. I like it. Look at us go. We're doing the things. I'm now creating Esmeralda's character sheet. Since if you're going to be
Fuck
fighting
yeah,
with
sword mommy, let's go.
import equipment. Ah, beautiful. But thank you everyone for watching this episode of 20 Sides Fair playing Curse of Strahd. You can either catch us live here every week, every Friday on 7 p.m. EST, or you can catch the VOD on the YouTube channel of the same name the next week. A thank you to my lovely players, who we wouldn't be able to do this without. And a good night to our viewers. See you next week.
Good night.
Good night.